So, here are two mistakes I was making with my swing. So, you guys know that a few weeks ago there was a waiter that recorded a little footage of me. And then when I went up to the restaurant to have a drink after my hunt, he showed me the footage. And first of all, it was great to see some B roll. And I learned a lot about what I could correct in my swing, things I couldn't see that I was doing wrong that might help you all too. So, number one, the first thing that I was doing is that, of course, you want to keep the coil parallel to the ground. And I'm usually on the beach, so I'm on uneven terrain. And one thing that I was doing is in making the effort to make sure that the coil was parallel, periodically I would correct. So I would correct the coil, but I was bringing it back to me, making it parallel to the ground. And then when I extended my arm back out for my swing, look where the coil is in relation to the sand, to the ground. It's no longer parallel. But you can't see that from up above. So I was doing this and then reaching out, which shifts the angle. And now my coil is about 15 degrees not parallel to the ground. So I'm training myself now to, instead of bringing it back, making it parallel and extending again, from wherever I'm naturally extended, I lower the coil down and then lift up. And now I'm parallel. So I'm not bringing it back anymore to make it parallel and then extending. I'm making it parallel right where my swing is, so that as I'm extended, I'm still parallel to the ground. So that has made a big difference in the quality of my swing. The other thing that I'm doing is, as I swung, I saw in the footage on when I was on the outside here, instead of using my shoulder as a pivot point and coming right back in like that, what I was doing is out here, I'm walking, and as I'm walking, I would rotate my shoulder in. So if you look at what happens when I rotate my shoulder in, the coil turns out a little bit. So then as I take my next step and come back, I'm missing all of this. One, because I'm too far off the ground, and two, because the coil is tipped up at an angle. So I'll show you again what that looks like. So I'm out here. So I'm walking. I take a step, go to swing back. I was rotating my shoulder as I step in and come back. It's not until here that the coil is parallel to the ground again. So I'm missing all this. And I did not realize I was doing that, of course, because when you're out here, your eyes are not out at the extension of your arm. Your eyes are focused on where you're going. And, I was a dancer and a gymnast, so I tend to have good muscle memory. Once I've learned how to do something, I'm pretty good at, like, my arm was always in a good position. My arm was, I don't want to say rigid, but in a state of suspense. It was here that I was doing something wrong that shifted my coil to the outside. And then it didn't come back until the coil was about here, when my shoulder went back to a straight position. And then my coil was parallel to the ground again. So those are two mistakes that I was making. So for beginning detectorists particularly, and even some of you experienced guys, if you've never seen footage of yourself actually swinging a coil, you might be making some small mistakes that can cause some errors in your finds, or cause you not to be finding as much as you might otherwise be able to find. So those are two things that I was doing that I think could help people. So catch y'all later. Quick video. Just wanted to share that because I was able to see what I was doing wrong.